Hello everybody, this is Haya Kalishman. I am a body-oriented integrative sex therapist based for women based in Kent in the UK. I hope you are right today. Welcome to Rendezvous with Haya, your weekly interactive talk about all that is femininity, sexuality, relationships, and intimacy. I am okay. I had a very, very emotional day, lots of crying, and also a lot of support, which is very beautiful. So this is how I am today. I still have a lot of sadness in me, but I'm also very, very happy to be here with you tonight and to share my work really and to answer your questions. It's very exciting. I've been receiving questions in private messages from you all. Tonight I'm going to speak about two topics. The first one is intimacy coaching. The question was, what is actually intimacy coaching? Because I'm an integrative sex therapist and intimacy coach. So what is that? What does that mean? And then I'll talk to you about a new project that is in gestation and that will actually be born in September, the Red Tents, the Canterbury Red Tents. So that's very exciting. But let's go back to the beginning. So intimacy coaching. What it entitles is, you could say, twofold, because, well, first of all, of course, it's working on intimacy issues, and intimacy issues can be very wide and very varied. So it can be sexuality, it can be relationship, and within sexuality and within relationships, it can be very, very diverse. So I would say that, first of all, the first branch is intimacy with yourself. So what does that mean to be intimate with yourself? And I'm not talking about sex here, I'm really talking about being close to your feelings, to your emotions, to your sensations. Feeling that sensation of inhabiting yourself, being with yourself, and being comfortable with yourself. That can be on a sexual level, that can be on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, that can be relational. Also relational with yourself, because you know that we are actually talking to ourselves all the time. There's always voices in our heads that tell us what to do, not to do, what we should do, what we couldn't do, what we should have done, etc., etc. And all these voices are parts of us. They are parts of our personality, or actually they are sub-personalities. And sometimes they work harmoniously, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they fight, which results in us feeling torn between I really want to do this, but actually I can't, or I don't feel I can, or I don't feel that I'm able to, or I don't feel I should or could, etc., etc. So that's the first part, is really becoming intimate, becoming close, becoming comfortable with yourself. And then, of course, the second branch is becoming more intimate and more at ease and more comfortable in your relationships. And that is where open, honest, radically honest actually, co-committed communication comes in, which is something that is really close to my heart. I'm very passionate about co-commitment, and that really is creating something together and working at it, because relationships demands commitment, dedication, and work, and awareness, a lot of awareness and a lot of love, obviously. So really starting to understand how relationships work, how relational dynamics work, what makes something work and what doesn't work in your relationship for yourself and with your partner. And again, that can be in the realm of sexuality, in the realm of companionship, in the realm of day-to-day life, routine. Anything can be explored and anything can be made clearer and made more accessible and made actually more loving. That is really something that is very important for me, and I will talk about it repeatedly, I have already last week. What is the love added value to anything that we do? How do we create more loving relationships with ourselves and with others? How do we create more loving situations, settings, surroundings for ourselves and with others? So in the realm of intimacy coaching, how can we support our relationships with more love? How can we add more love to the mix, basically? Which I find is a premise for everything, or can be, or I would even dare say should be. I don't use shoulds very often, but in this case I truly believe that having love as a premise, so not so much as a belief or as an attitude, but as a basic principle underlying everything that you're doing and that you are being, is of essence, especially in this world we're living in, where that doesn't really happen so much. And I'm not talking about love in a woo-woo way, or in a evanescent way, or in a spiritual way. I am really talking about something very embodied, which is our essence. Our essence is love. The essence of life and of sexuality is love, and can be love. When it has been lost, that is really something we can rekindle with, and that I feel very passionate about. So where is the love added value to your intimate relationships with yourself or with others? I feel it's really important, and is really playing a role in the work I do with my clients. So how do we work around that, or with that? Well, pretty much in the same way we work in integrative sex therapy, which is with our big allies: breath, sounds, speaking, so open, radically honest communication, and touch, and always in an embodied way. So everything that will emerge from your embodied experience, which makes it very real. And that is important. When you want to be intimate, you want to be real too. Really being aware, present, and embodied in your reality, also very important. If you want to know more about this, obviously get in touch with me. My webpage is Women's Sexuality Kent here on Facebook, and I'm always available to answer your questions. I give one-to-one sessions with women, whether it be in intimacy coaching or integrative sex therapy, and I also give workshops for everybody around the topics of intimacy, boundaries, consent, and touch. Having a background as a body worker, touch is also very important for me and is very often integrated in what I offer. And my third line of activities are women's circles. So up until last month, they were women's sexuality circles, because I work a lot with sexuality. So of course that was very important for me to put forward. But a lot of you have come and talked to me and said, well, the term sexuality is a bit scary. It makes us a bit wary. We don't know where to stand, And we would love to be in a women's group. We would love to be surrounded and in a, in a loving, supportive environment with women. But putting sexuality forward like that might be a little bit too forward. So my colleague and I decided to shift from women's sexuality circle to red tents, to women's red tents. And many of you might have heard about it. There's an amazing book called The Red Tent by an American writer. Have a look at it, it's absolutely wonderful. And those red tents, which are women-only spaces where we gather and we talk about ourselves. We talk about our heart, our soul, our body, our sex, have been sprouting all around the world for a while, and have been really existing everywhere, all around the world before our society became a patriarchal society. Women would meet in a tent, in a women-only space, usually around the full moon, because in the tribes where women would live together and be attuned with each other, all of the women would usually get their period at the same time. So at the time of the full moon and at the time of the bleeding, women would get together and talk together, but also get connected to spirit, to the divine, and become oracle for the tribe. And that is really what we would like to recreate. We would like to recreate a space that is safe and supportive and sacred and ritualistic. So we will meet once a month still. We will try to do it before, probably the week before the full moon, or right before the new moon, which are two moments of the cycle of the moon and of the woman that are very important. The full moon being creative, expansive, outgoing, and the new moon, or rather the black moon, the end of the cycle, being reflective, being creative in the sense of putting seeds in the ground. So really going inside and sharing wisdom with each other also. So once a month, either around the full moon or around the new moon, and it would be a co-created space. So that means that my colleague and I would create a structure, a very loose structure, where we would teach you how to work with your sexual energy, how to connect to your body, how to connect to spirit, meditate, relax, come in touch with your pleasure body, and also work on our communication skills and our healing and supportive skills. And also that would be a place and a space where you as participants would be able to come up with ideas and create them and realize them in amongst a group of very supportive and very keen women. So what we want is really create a sorority, a community of women being safe, sacred, supportive, creative, and co-committed. Again, co-commitment is coming back because it's one of my passion. So there would be a lot of time allocated for you to share your dreams, your passions, your being, really, your soul, if you wanted to share that, or not, if you didn't want to share it and just wanted to be present in the circle with other women. That will be starting in September. We are going to take a break in July and August to create that space, to let it unfold inside of our heart, our soul, and our mind and our body, and invite you to do the same. So in the course of those weekly talks that I'm very happy to share with you every Wednesday at 8 UK time, I will invite you regularly to to come up with ideas and to send them to me again, so that when we start in September, we already have a pretty good idea of what it is that you would like those red tents to be for you. I think that's where I'm going to stop tonight. It's been a pleasure to share that with you. I know that many of you are listening. I have been receiving a lot of encouragement and a lot of very positive feedback. So please continue to do that. It's just great for me to hear from you. If you can, come and join me online every Wednesday at 8 UK time. And otherwise, feel free to visit Women's Sexuality Kent. Comment, post, feel free. That is also your space. And I'm also very happy always very happy to hear from you. Take care and see you next week. Bye-bye.